Have you ever stayed in a place, a relationship, a job, or even just a season of your life long after you knew God was telling you it was time to move on? And then, almost overnight, everything starts to feel off. It gets uncomfortable. Doors that were once wide open start to slam shut. The people you relied on start to change. And that peace you once felt, it just disappears. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something. That's not your life falling apart. That is God forcing movement. Because when you won't step out of a situation by choice, God will step in by purpose to get you where you need to be. Welcome, family. Today, we read diving deep into a topic that so many of us experience, but often fail to recognize for what it truly is. Those times when God has to push you forward because you've stayed somewhere for too long. You see, in many seasons of life, God starts with a whisper. He gives you a gentle nudge, a quiet prompting in your spirit that says, it's time to go. But what happens when we ignore that whisper? Maybe we're comfortable, maybe we're scared, or maybe we just don't want to let go. Well, that's when God starts to shift the circumstances around us until moving becomes the only logical option. So today, let's break down the spiritual signs, understand the powerful reasons, and uncover the divine purpose behind God pushing you out of a season that you have officially outgrown. Let us start with the first and most common sign. God makes you uncomfortable when it's time for you to grow. One of the very first indicators that you've overstayed your welcome in a season is a deep sense of discomfort. It might manifest in different ways. You might feel restless, like you can't sit still. You might feel unfulfilled, even if you're doing things that used to bring you joy. There might be a growing sense of disconnection from your environment or the people around you. That inner peace you once took for granted, it's gone, replaced by anxiety or unease. And spiritually, you just feel dry, like you're in a desert. This isn't random. This is strategic. Think about the prophet Elijah in the Bible. He was by the brook Cherith, and God was providing for him. But then, the Bible says the brook dried up. It wasn't because Elijah had done something wrong or failed in his mission. It was because God was moving him to his next assignment, to the widow at Zarephath. The source of his provision dried up to signal that his season there was over. In the same way, when the place you are in no longer feeds your spiritual growth, God will disrupt your comfort to ensure you don't settle for less than is best for you. Your discomfort is not a punishment, it's a compass pointing you forward. Now for the second sign. God removes support systems so you won't depend on the wrong things. This one can be painful. Sometimes the resources, the people, or the opportunities that once held you up and supported you suddenly begin to shift or disappear entirely. A reliable income stream might dry up. A friendship you depended on might fade away. An open door you were counting on might close. God allows this to happen so that you stop depending on familiar, limiting patterns, on old relationships that can't go where He's taking you, or on old sources of strength that were only meant for a previous season. What used to work simply doesn't work anymore. Remember the story of Jonah. God told him to go to Nineveh, but Jonah ran in the opposite direction. So what did God do? He sent a storm. He disrupted Jonah's journey, removing the support of the calm sea to force him out of the wrong direction and back onto the path of his purpose. When your support systems change, it's crucial to see it not as rejection, but as divine redirection. God is teaching you to lean on Him and Him alone as your ultimate source. This brings us to our third sign. God closes doors that you wouldn't close on your own. Let's be honest, most of us don't like change. We fear the unknown. We'd rather stay in a familiar, even if dysfunctional, situation than step out into uncertainty. We know we should leave that job and that relationship or move out of that city, but the fear of what if keeps us paralyzed. So, God in His wisdom and love for you steps in and closes those doors Himself to protect your destiny. When God closes a door, you'll notice opportunities just dry up. Conversations that were once promising now lead nowhere. People you thought would be in your life forever begin to walk away. The entire environment just shifts, and you feel spiritually out of place, like you're wearing clothes that are 2 sizes too small. Think about Noah. God commanded him to build the ark, and when the time came, God himself shut Noah and his family inside. That closed door behind them was the very thing that moved them into a new world and saved them from the flood. Think about the Israelites at the Red Sea. God closed the sea behind them, making it impossible for them to retreat back to Egypt. Closed doors are often God's mercy in disguise. They are his way of saying, forward is the only direction I have for you now. Stop looking back. Next up, sign number 4, and this is a big one. God removes his peace from a place where you no longer belong. Peace is one of the most powerful spiritual indicators we have. The peace of God is meant to be an umpire in our hearts. When it's present, we know we're safe. When it's absent, it's a major warning sign. You simply cannot force peace to remain in a place that God's presence has lifted from. If you find yourself feeling anxious, stressed, and full of turmoil in a situation that once brought you peace, pay close attention. It's not just a bad day, it could be a divine signal. Remember when Jesus was born, an angel warned Joseph in a dream that Herod wanted to harm the child. The environment in Bethlehem was no longer safe. So Mary and Joseph had to move to Egypt. God disturbed their peace in order to protect their purpose, the purpose wrapped up in that child. Sometimes God disturbs your peace to protect his purpose for your life. It's his loving way of saying, this season is over. It's time to step into the next one where my peace awaits you. The 5th sign is a beautiful one. God releases new desires in your heart that you can ignore. As God prepares to move you, he doesn't just push you from behind. He also pulls you from the front. This pull often comes in the form of new desires, new passions, and new dreams that begin to bubble up within your spirit. Suddenly, you feel a pull towards something different, something more. You develop a hunger for a deeper purpose that your current situation can no longer satisfy. You find yourself daydreaming about change, about a new career, a new ministry, or a new way of living. Your priorities begin to shift, and a new calling starts to whisper your name, and it just won't go away. These new desires are not random wishes. They are God-given seeds of your future. He is pulling your heart toward the destiny he has prepared for you. It's just like what he did with Abraham. God said, leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. He placed a desire for a promised land in Abraham's heart, a land he had never seen. When God starts stirring new desires within you, he's saying, trust me. Leave where you are, because there is something so much greater waiting for you ahead. Finally, our 6th sign. God pushes you out because the place you are can no longer hold the person you are becoming. This is so important. Sometimes, God forces a move not because the place, the job, or the relationship is bad, but simply because you have outgrown it. Through your walk with him, you're growing spiritually. You are changing, developing, evolving. The old container can no longer hold the new wine. The person you are today is not the person you were a year ago, and God is preparing a place that fits the new you. Think of a bird in a nest. That nest was once a place of safety, provision, and protection. But as the bird grows, its wings develop, and its strength increases. Eventually, that nest which once protected it becomes a cage that confines it. The mother bird has to push the baby bird out of the nest to force it to fly. The push isn't mean, the push is necessary for the bird to fulfill its purpose. God pushes you out to push you up. He sees the potential in you that you may not see in yourself, and he knows that staying in the comfortable nest will ultimately stunt your growth. So if this message has spoken to your spirit today, if you feel that divine push in your own life, don't just scroll away. Let's declare this together. Take a moment to like this video and go down to the comments and type, Lord, lead me to where you want me next.